It's the little things in life.
It is. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Ask Dad, a dad show that's not just for dads, but everyone that wants fatherly advice from a real dad. Whether you're here for the bad dad joke or to gain some insight, Will Snow is the man, the myth, and the legend. I'm so proud that I can say that word now because it's like tongue twisting me. Anyway, Will Snow, he is the man, the myth, and the legend in his own mind who knows all things. So please welcome to today's episode of Ask Dad. We love you.
Wow.
Yeah,
I'm feeling good.
Yeah.
All right.
How's it going?
Oh, it's going great. It has been a happening time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just had some beautiful fun in the tropics. There's
my God, it was so lovely. It was delicious.
yeah. Tell you, just want to travel.
I know, travel the world and experience.
Adventures. Yay.
So I have a dad joke.
Oh, let's hear it.
Would you like to hear it?
I would love to hear it, Debo.
All right. So, what is a funny mountain called?
I don't know. What is a funny mountain called?
Hilarious. Hilarious.
Okay.
Hey.
Hey, wait. There you go. Okay, I got one for you too.
Go on. I'm
Okay,
excited.
so what do you call a tiger in the White House?
What do you call a tiger in the White House?
Lost. What? Okay. All right.
So,
Yeah. Wow. So.
we are back. We are back from a lovely, adventurous vacation.
Oh, yeah. It was marvelous. But I think we talked about that before, didn't we?
You know, I don't remember. We talk about so many things. So,
It's still on my mind.
Yeah.
Well, it's just because, everything is, you come back and you're kind of stepping into everything again and you're like, wow, nothing really changed now, did it? No. So we're going to make it change.
yeah, I was just going to say that's the goal of
That's
Ask
right. We're
Dad.
going to start driving some change here. We're going to be a lot harder about this. We're going to okay, maybe
I'm
not.
listening.
Maybe not. Well, okay, so I've had something on my mind recently, and it's just kind of as a result of conversations that I've been having with people lately. And it's really interesting is this concept of negative self-talk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just so pervasive within our environment, and we do it so easily. We just take the opportunity to degrade ourselves whenever possible, and it is, can you take a compliment? Can I say, Deborah, you look beautiful today?
It has taken me years to be able to say thank you instead of, what are you kidding? I'm a mess. Oh my God, I just finished at the gym, whatever the excuse is. But it is very difficult to take a compliment. And it took me a long time. And even now, I'll kind of fumble over it. But yeah, you just say thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I mean, I was in a conversation with somebody the other day, and they called themselves a dork, and they called themselves silly, and they called themselves clumsy, all in the course of like 2 minutes. I'm like, wow, and just listening to it, kind of as an independent observer, it's like, well, okay, if you talk about yourself, your thoughts are manifesting your words. Your words are manifesting your actions. I mean, you're creating this environment where, if you feel like, hey, I'm a failure, or I don't have worth, or, I think it's kind of related to this old Greek concept of hubris, where, you don't want to talk too nicely about yourself or, about stuff, or otherwise the gods are going to come down and punish you or something like that, and it's absolutely a horrible thing to do to yourself, because if you can't love yourself, and you can't be loving to yourself, then how is anybody else going to love you? Right? It's just, and I see it in work too. People being very, very. I'm not saying you have to be, egregiously, overbearing about your accomplishments and all that, but you should legitimately be able to take a compliment when your boss tells you, "Hey, good job." If you did a good job, say thank you.
Yeah.
You know,
You're right. Yes, you are
it's
correct.
it's okay. You don't have to. You don't. I'm not saying you have to go out there and say, "Hey, look at the great job I did." But at the same time, look, if you did something really good, there's no harm in saying, "Hey, I think this was really good. I think this is really good work." Uh,
I
but
agree. I agree. It's interesting because in society, a lot of people tease other people if they do something like that, which it's interesting. And like you said, it becomes this habit. So if you are super proud of yourself and you brag about it, rightfully so, because you've done something that you are just so happy about, and somebody else teases you or makes fun of you, even if it's in love, it's still harmful.
is teasing love?
It's a good question.
I mean, this is a really interesting conversation. Is teasing? I mean, when you're teasing somebody, that's like this really passive aggressive communication style. It's like, oh, oh yeah, I can't even think of one right
Yeah,
now.
me either.
Oh, you're always so, you're always extra or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I go the extra mile. I get stuff done. I'm very goal oriented, you know, so that makes me extra. That's a negative connotation.
I think you're deliciously extra
Thank you very much.
in all the
Appreciate
right
that.
ways.
Oh,
Yeah.
see, I like that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So that was out of love, but that also wasn't teasing.
No, I didn't feel teased about that at all. Maybe that's just because I'm obtuse. So, but
I,
yeah. See, I just did it. You see how that goes? I just showed you how to talk negative about yourself.
oh, that's right.
There it is. See? It's a dad joke, right? That's how we are.
Yeah, it was a really, it's just,
But the thing I'm trying to say though is if you really manifest, you're going to manifest what you're thinking and what you're saying. You're going to put it into the world, and the world will see you that way. So here's my dad advice, my
on.
unsolicited dad advice. Well, actually, it is solicited. If you're listening to this, as many of our listeners are, you are kind of soliciting the advice because you're asking. You're here. You would if you didn't want the
is
advice.
correct.
I guess you wouldn't be here, right?
That is correct.
All right.
So go
So
on,
the
Mr.
so
Will
the
Snow, the
solicited
man who
advice
knows
is
all
knock
things.
it off. Knock it off. Be nice to yourself. Because if you can do that, then chances are you can be nicer to other people too. And that sets up a positive dynamic in the world. And remember, again, what we're all here for, which is to experience this beautiful adventure of life together and to elevate each other. There is really nothing else of importance than that. That is something we can all do every day, regardless of our resources, whether we're the wealthiest or poorest people on the planet. You can always do that. So, that is dad advice for the day. But speaking of our listeners, I think we had a question come in.
We did actually. So, from one of our listeners and subscribers, thank you very much. A question from Chandra in Minneapolis. She says, I have been a working mother for nearly a decade. I've been promoted twice at my job, and I recently bought a home with my husband of 15 years. Yay. My problem is that the women in my neighborhood are very cliquey and catty and have no respect for mothers who have careers and have no tolerance for people of different color or religious beliefs. Ooh. Worst still, their children have expressed these discriminatory beliefs to my children, both in school and on their sports teams. There's more. Ugh.
Yeesh.
While I have endured such abuses in my life since moving to the United States, I hoped that achieving financial success and raising 3 intelligent, respectful, and kind children would have been enough to prove my value to society. Seeing my children subjected to the same discrimination I've faced is making me incredibly angry, but I have no idea how to channel this in a positive way. What would you advise? First of all, wow.
Wow.
Oh, Chandra.
Yeah, Chandra. First of all,
Sorry.
yeah, I
We
am
were
very
talking about people making fun and teasing. I use
teasing
that
and
in
all that kind of.
quotes.
Doesn't sound like they're teasing though. It sounds like they're being pretty nasty.
Yeah.
And I think we've all experienced this in some way or another. This kind of bullying behavior, because that's what this really is bullying. But I wanna bring up a point here. Prove my value to society through my accomplishments and achievements. Chandra, you were valuable before you did any of that.
Agreed.
Yeah, your value is not in your achievements. Your value is in who you are as a human being. It's expressed by the great achievements that you've had. And by the way, congratulations.
The promotions. at
Oh,
the house,
raising 3 children that are kind and
respectful.
oh my God,
intelligent.
that's amazing.
That is lovely.
So clearly you're doing something more than something. You're doing a lot of things right. And you should be very proud of that. And honestly, clearly I think what you're seeing from your catty clicky neighbors is just a ton of jealousy.
Yes.
And it's being projected at your children as well. And and it's unfortunate that this is happening in your environment. And I definitely understand your concept of being angry and wanting to, especially when it comes to your kids, you're always very, very protective. And so it's definitely a challenge here. My first thought was, okay, join the homeowners association board and then just keep writing them delinquency tickets for their lawns. But that would be passive aggressive.
That is very passive aggressive, and we do not condone passive aggressive behavior.
We don't condone that, though. It's kind of funny, but no, don't do that. No, I think actually you can actually I don't know how much these people are open to anything, and it sounds like they're very closed-minded and when you say they're cliquey, what is a clique? Really, it's a closed group. They're closing themselves off to new ideas. They're closing themselves off to new people, and that is truly their loss. But at the same time, your children are really dealing with an issue here, and how do they deal with that? Well, I think you need to have a conversation with them as well and say, hey, look, this is something that is unfortunately happening right now. What can we do, though, to try to break through this? And I think maybe you can use this as a learning lesson for your kids on how to reach out and maybe share some of your culture, share some of your religious beliefs. It was really interesting. One of the things that I thought was really cool growing up was I had an opportunity to go visit different houses of worship. And it was very interesting because, how else do you know? And I had the opportunity to have meals with people from different ethnicities. And that was just as a result of the way I was raised. And so it was really interesting because when you can break away from the stereotypes, then you're able to actually facilitate that human-to-human contact. And so it might be a great opportunity for your kids to potentially invite them over to maybe a meal with different food. Invite them to your house of worship. Accept an invitation to go to their house of worship. Again, opening up doors, but that's I think the best way to deal with this particular situation.
It's interesting. These people that tend to be cliquey and closed off and closed-minded, it's because they're afraid of what they don't understand. So
that is brilliant, and you are absolutely correct. And remember, we had talked about this earlier, about the concept of where do you make your decisions? Are you making your decisions out of fear? Are you making your decisions out of love?
Right.
And when you see this kind of behavior, it is very fear-based. The fear of letting anything in that is new or different. The fear that if I, you know, that I might change my mind about something that other people have told me to be true. A fear of failure or a fear of being perceived as less than. All of these things kind of enter into this discussion. And honestly, you can't make people be unafraid. That's something that only they can do. Only they can get past that. But you can encourage them. You can provide an environment that's safe and non-judgmental and
Provide information.
provide
A
information.
lot of times the fear comes from what they don't know.
But the frustration and the anger is because you're seeking to change their approach to you. You're seeking to open minds that want to remain closed, and you can't.
Right.
That's out of your realm.
Yeah.
All you can do is provide information and remain kind with it. And honestly, don't have any expectation that they're going to change based on the actions that you're taking, but take the actions anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. And ask. I mean, the one thing that I've learned over time is we don't know what's going on in somebody else's brain. So unless they communicate it by us asking the right questions, the open-minded potential questions. What do you think about that?
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, that it's hard to have that conversation to get to the ask if they're not even going to open up the door to actually having a conversation with you. I just feel like, potentially, discussing, maybe there is a way one-on-one. I find it's much easier to have those conversations than in a group. And, just be, but Chandra, I got to say, quite honestly, you're doing all the right things. Yeah. And I just do think that I hate to see this. I hate to see these prejudices, extend into a next generation.
Yes.
Because really, we're better than that as humans. We don't have to do that. We really don't. It's kind of exactly the opposite of what we're really here for. So be here for what you're here for, and you'd be surprised how far those ripples can go and what's going to happen. So just be true to yourself. Teach your kids to be true to themselves, which it sounds like they are.
Yes.
And I wish you all well.
Thank you so much, Chandra. That was a wonderful question. And thank you also to all of our listeners out there. And if this is your first time listening, feel free to click and subscribe. So I would like to thank you, Will Snow. Oh. Any last thoughts?
Not at the moment. Just remember. Well, yeah. I mean, I could go on, and I will in our next episode.
I love it. All right.
I got a lot of things to talk about.
That we do. All right. Well, thank you again, everyone, for tuning in to Ask Dad, the show of fatherly advice for all, with a smattering of bad dad jokes. The love is real and the man is real. So we will see you next time. And until then, continue to send us your dad jokes and questions so we can talk about it all. And
feel free to subscribe and send us emails. We look at all of our emails. We appreciate you very much. No, there's no financial commitment to subscribing. Yeah. We really do love you all very much and appreciate you, and have a brilliant, brilliant week in front of you.
Absolutely. And our email, will@iwillaskdad. So yes, send it all. The good, the bad, and the dad.